Hey guys, Zach here, and today I'll be taking a look at some fan-made things that I've made over the years. Well, just one thing in particular. The other thing is just something that I wanted to show off. But I only wanted to show this off because I actually brought this up in my Jurassic Park 25th anniversary video, where basically I'm just going to tell the whole story again. When Jurassic Park was re-released in the 3D, I went to Toys R Us trying to pick up some Sonic figures. However, at the time, they had some Jurassic Park figures. So I bought some of those, and I went home. And what I did was I took the logo on the box, I cut it out, and I taped it on a popsicle stick. Well, I found it in the video. I said I couldn't find it, but in the video, or what am I trying to say? I found it recently, so here it is. And it's nothing simple. It's just the logo on a popsicle stick. It's not the original logo. It's like the weird Photoshop logo. But yeah, I love this thing. You know, it's not, great or anything like that. It's very cheap and it could very well break easily. But to be honest, this was the start to my Jurassic Park fandom. So yeah, this is actually one of my favorite items in my collection. Alright, not my favorite item, but yeah. This still is what started my Jurassic Park fandom. So, yeah. Anyway, now for the main point of the video. Before I show this off, this just deserves a bit of explanation. So, I'm a senior in high school, and basically, I'm in a high school that's a trade school, where 1 week is academics, like, 1 week I have math and Spanish or English or geometry or whatever, and then the next week is shop week, which is something like culinary or cosmetology or horticulture or anything like that. CAD is one of the programs there, so I, chose CAD, and I've been in CAD for, from freshman year all the way to now. And out of all my years of being in that class, I only ever 3D printed two things. And one of them was mandatory because it was an assignment. However, my teacher said that it could be whatever we want. Like, we had to print out cars, but it could be anything. You could have, like, a cheeseburger for a car or a piece of pizza for a car. What I did was I based it off of the Ford Explorer from Jurassic Park. So, yeah, that was last year. This year, I 3D printed something. And this was also an assignment, but at the same time, not really. So, basically, at the end of last year, my teacher said, alright, so there's just one thing, before you go on to summer break, I would just like you to make one more thing, and then once you're done with that, we can 3D print that in the fall. Well, we 3D printed everything, or I 3D printed mine all the way back in, or it was a couple of weeks ago, but he said we were going to do it in the fall this year, which I was a little disappointed, but I ended up printing it out. So, yeah. First of all, alright, I'll talk about that when I show this, but without further ado, here is one thing, and probably the last thing I've 3D printed in that class. So, here is the Jurassic Park, or a Jurassic Park emblem that I 3D printed. I created the model on a software called SolidWorks, which is basically where you can make 3D models, sorry about that, where you can make 3D models and you can print them out using a 3D printer. And when I, showed my teacher this, I said, I kind of want, I wanted, the black, but I also wanted red at the same time. However, I thought you could just have, one color and that's it. So I just assumed that. However, he said that there is a way to 3D print it to where you can have the black and red at the same time. And I was very excited. And he showed me. So basically what I did was, it started off with red, but then somewhere right here it paused, and then we replaced the material with black, and then there you go. And in front, it looks nice. However, on the sides and on the back, it would have been nice if, the sides and back were all black too. But, yeah. I actually thought about painting the back side and the sides here, but, yeah. That's one thing. I might paint it later down the road, but yeah. I guess if there's one thing I wish I didn't do, I wish I made the skeleton here and the jungle here, more in the background. Because, as you can see, the jungle and skeleton are on the same level as the outer part of the logo right here, which Yeah, and the reason why I wish I, made the jungle and the skeleton in the background was because the teeth are very thin and they are very fragile. As you can see, a couple of them snapped off. So, yeah. Actually, this tooth right here snapped off, like, before we got it out of the printer. So, yeah. But other than that, I'd say this turned out pretty good. This might be the last thing I 3D print in that class because my teacher isn't really... He's... I don't want to say anything negative, but I will say that we are seniors and we've only 3D printed 2 things as assignments. The freshmen have been 3D printing things since day 1, and that's very frustrating for me, but yeah. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I guess if there's one thing I wish I did, I wish I made a stand because this thing will not stand on its own. So, yeah. So, if you want to know how big this thing is, it's 5 inches on diameter, so here it is next to Dr. Billy Grant, as an example. Not big, but it actually started out as being 1 inch in diameter, however, it absolutely would not have printed out the teeth like this. So, I had to make it bigger, and here we are. And that's pretty much it for today. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video. Peace, Zach out.